Welcome to Rich Conversations. This is another edition of our weekly guided reflection sessions where we're going to take about 40 to 50 minutes out of our day to simply just think more intentionally about our own lives. I'm going to pose simple questions, and through our answers, we'll be able to be more clear in the direction we want to go moving forward. And today I'm at the Art Institute of Chicago member lounge, and I'm doing some digital file organization. So I thought this would be a great time to just kick it and just work on these things. And we'll start with 5 minutes of breathing, like usual. And all we're going to do is just breathe in and breathe out. And this is meant to get us to recenter ourselves so that we can be clear and focused on what's next. So let's begin. 5 minutes. I don't have a timer, so we'll figure it out. All right, we'll stop there. Was that close to 5? I don't know. All right. We'll start the session how we usually do, and that's, what are we grateful for? First question. Always a great starter to frame the mindset we want to be in moving forward. So think of something you're grateful for, or a few things that you're grateful for. This is reflection session 40. 40. That's consistent. I think, I know we've done one other session here at this location. I don't know if we've done 2, though. We've done podcast episodes here, though. All right, so second question is, what's something we're obsessed with, or we really enjoy doing, that other people don't know that about us? So for me, digital file organization. That's what I'm doing right now. The Art Institute has some of the fastest Wi-Fi. So I like to take trips here and then kind of in bulk do some maneuvering of digital files, because I accumulate quite a bit. I create a lot. So what's something for you that, people don't really know that about you, but it's such a big part of, or it's a big thing you really enjoy doing? Yeah, let's test the internet speed. Oh yeah, I love seeing it just like there's this circle, right? And it just juices up right away. So the download speed we have right now is 313.6 megabytes a second. And our upload is 308.5 megabytes a second. It's pretty good. Your internet connection is very fast. So I like to come here and kind of clear out my computer and organize the files to the cloud or a external hard drive. I'm having issues with my hard drive right now. Oh, here we go. See, this is why, it's kind of like this balance between the cloud and the external. The external, it's physical, so there's a lot of things that can go wrong with it. Now, with cloud space, it is stored somewhere physical on servers, but those are high security, whereas like this is just anything can happen to it out here. This is the wild out here. And there's limitations with the physical one. You only have X amount of storage. Cloud, you can always increase it, but then you have to work out the payment issues and 21st century, right? Now I started moving some stuff over and then it stopped. It said not ejected properly, but I didn't intend to eject it. So now I think I have to delete what I had and start over again. These are all the nuances, you know? If you're a creator, if you're someone who enjoys exploring ideas, a component of that today is how do you organize your files? And it's not just for the project you're working on right now, right? It's throughout the years, multiple years, maybe even a decade. Like, how do you organize the files? If something you're working on right now is immediate and you're working on it, you know where kind of all the files are. You're just kind of in the zone with this stuff. But then what do you do with it afterwards when you're done? And then the next project, and the next project, and the next project. Like, having a system and a process to organize those in a way that you feel confident in its longevity and sustainability is a really important aspect, and it creates a lot of peace of mind. I know for me. So this is why I do it. So this is a simulcast. Yeah, I was moving some stuff over, and then it stopped. I'm moving over 105 gigabytes from my computer to the external hard drive in one go. So the third question, what's something you've learned through trial and error that you've developed a better system with your approach now? So something you've developed a system and process of how you go about things to better improve your performance and results of the tasks and the projects that you're working on. And I still feel like I'm just flying by the seat of my pants with this. It's like juggling these different things. I got this cloud space, that cloud space, this external hard drive, this external hard drive. And then that's just for like 1 year. Yeah, the reason why I'm doing this is my my Google Drive ran out of room in a year, 5 terabytes. And I didn't even move over my 2023, 2022 stuff. Systems and processes, very important. It's a very small thing. It's a very underrated thing that people don't discuss because it's not sexy. We like talking about the sexy stuff, but we're all about fundamentals here. Fundamentals, because then you can improvise, you can freestyle, you can be spontaneous, you can be a free spirit. When you have those fundamentals down, you've practiced them and have become skillful at them. What's a fundamental let's see. Like, what's what's a fundamental you want to get better at? And I don't know if I've been clear on what fundamentals are, but it's essentially these building blocks of how you approach the world so that you can operate at a very high level. I like to think of it some would be like generosity, gratitude, patience, reliability, diligence, stuff like this. They're so valuable. So it's something we want to improve at. Now it's saying 2 hours? What's my other stuff at? It's saying 2 hours for this to move 105 gigabytes to an external. See, right now, my computer is running low on space. And something I want to do is move folders from the cloud down to the computer and then move them to the external so that the cloud has more space. You catch me? You feel me? So it's a whole process. First, I got to clear the space on the computer so that it has room to download. It can be quite a hurricane of thoughts going on. All right, next question. What's a historical figure who's a historical figure you admire? Why do you admire them? What are their characteristics? What are some of the achievements that you are impressed with? Yeah. Someone that's on my mind is Alexander the Great. I feel like I'm ambitious. I'm as ambitious as Alexander the Great when I move these digital files. Because I'm asking a lot of this computer, right? To all this information, all this data, to move it around. And I want it done like that. I want to do it now. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to sit here, sip this coffee, and we're going to move these files until we're done. Alexander the Great. I consider myself the Alexander the Great of digital file organization. No, I was thinking, I was resting this morning, and I was listening to this podcast. All the podcasts I listen to are like history ones. And this one, what is it? The Ancients, maybe? Tristan Hughes is the host. Great British accent. Those history podcasts are always better with, British accents. And Alexander the Great, he keeps coming up on like all these different feeds. It's really interesting because, other people I learn from and philosophers, they discuss Alexander the Great, how he accomplished all these things in his life before the age of 33, yet he's still buried in the same ground as his horse, But this episode in particular was about his death and how, he did all this conquering. He spread like Greek ideals in like the largest empire ever, especially for the time, and he left no instructions of like what would happen when he dies. So they had all figured out and scramble, and then it all just kind of fell apart. So he wasn't interested in administration. He was interested in exploring and fighting and just going out there and doing his thing. He wasn't particularly interested in ensuring his legacy through heirs and alliances through marriages and children and things like that. It's just a dude that wanted to go out, just give his all to the world. And he's still the subject of the 21st century, Often those that are concerned about their legacy don't have a legacy because they're so focused on their legacy that they become distracted and their energy isn't fully focused on what they're here to do in the world. Alexander the Great, digital file organization. And so I think about that in terms of energy and purpose. And it's the importance of just giving your all to anything you do, especially in what you're here to do. closing some of these programs. Right now I have been writing a novel. So I write every morning, and I change the background of my computer to reflect the scenes I'm writing, where they take place. Because they take place in Wisconsin, Chicago, New York, Miami, London, Paris. And so I use photos of the scenes to just get me flowing, put me in that setting, and I'm there. So my question to you is, like, what's something you do extra with your photos that can make other things more effective? You know, for in this case, it's my writing. Do you use your images for other things? And again, it goes back to kind of this organization aspect. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, Soho, New York. So we've got this scene, chapter 19, takes place in Soho. So I got this one. Oh, this is one of my favorites, I would say. So beautiful. Look at that. Historic architecture. You got art, culture, shopping, gorgeous people, cobblestone alleyways, streets. No, not alleyways. They don't have alleyways. Streets. You have the, like, fire escapes. Classic New York. Soho. Yeah. Yeah, so do you use your photos in other ways that are effective in other aspects of your life? You know, for projects or something similar to the way I use them for writing. Energized as well, because the next scenes take place in Paris. So I get to go back into my Paris photos and create some really cool visuals, and I change them up for every scene. And the scenes take place oftentimes with the photos because they're based on personal experiences. So the next question, the last trip you went on, what are some small details you remember? What's an impression that really stood out to you about objects or the weather or the people? Small nuances that felt very distinct to that place you were. Since we're on session 40 and we've been doing these consistently, what's something you do in your own life that is consistent? You know, let's evaluate that a little further. Like, what are you proud of in regards to being consistent with it? What are the effects you've seen and experienced from that consistency? Man, I feel like moving 100 gigs all at once is asking a lot. I don't know. It hasn't moved. It says 2 hours still. After this, I'm going to go to Chicago Athletic Association. Do some writing. Some things I'm curious about. Well, what are you curious about recently? It's our next question. Something that comes up with conversations I have with other people, regardless of location or age, is phones. How people use them, how everyone's like this, how people are trying to be more intentional with how they use them. And it's also, it's not just young people that are on their phones a lot. Something that comes up in recent conversations is like older people on their phones, glued to it. Yeah, phones, tech. There's a balance, and the key, I think, I would say peace of mind, others would say sanity, in the 21st century is being able to find that balance of how you want to live your life, how you want to interact with your friends and maintain relationships, and how much we want to use tech and have that be involved in our lives, and finding that balance of using tech with these things, but not it getting out of control. You know, we want to be in control of the actions we take in life. And oftentimes we wonder, when we look at people on their phones, who's in control? some technically folks, I'm sure, will point out that it's the companies and corporations behind the technology that are in control. That's a fair statement and thought to have, but in the immediate, you have the tech and you, and who's in control comes down to your choice as a human being. Yeah. The world is comprised of many different types of people, and technically, people are a special kind, and they have a place, and I appreciate them. Yeah, I appreciate everybody in the ways that they think. So it makes life beautiful, you know? I'm here at an art museum. If everybody thought the same and was the same, art would be terrible. That's why architecture is so bad right now. It's so cookie cutter, because everybody's thinking the same.
So when we were testing earlier,
We want to be better. We want to realize our own individual abilities and dreams and purpose, because it helps other people and the world. And so on that thought, what are we energized for in the next week? This coffee's got me energized. Kind of late, a little too late in the day to be drinking coffee, but that's okay. Sometimes you have to break the rules. The rules that we have placed on ourselves. Because that's what makes us human, breaking rules oftentimes. Acting out of what we know is our best interest. Because our impulses and instincts tell us otherwise. Yeah, I'm going to get back to this file organization. I'm not as good at multitasking as I used to be. I don't think. Some scientists would probably say that there is no such thing as multitasking. And that's fine and dandy, but yeah, I'm going to get back to it. Again, I feel like the Alexander the Great of digital file organization. We're going full steam ahead. These digital files will only weigh us down, so we have to get rid of them. We have to organize them to free up our mind. In this case, our processors, computers, storage. Otherwise, we don't have room for more. So thank you for being here this week. This has been our weekly guided reflection session number 40. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next week, and continue to just get better every day. Small steps. They might not seem like much at all on the surface or in the moment, but when you do it consistently, it adds up and it creates beauty. So thank you, and inspire the future.